Yellowstone is back, and the wait is almost over. Season 6 has officially been confirmed for release in 2025, and with it comes answers to burning questions and a brand new chapter in the saga of the Dutton family. What's next for Yellowstone? How will the franchise move forward after Jaime's shocking death? And what twists can we expect to rock the future of this beloved series? Buckle up. We're diving into everything we know, including the fallout from that jaw-dropping finale and what lies ahead in this ever-evolving franchise. The announcement of Yellowstone's return in 2025 has already sent fans into a frenzy. But here's the thing. Season 6 won't be just another season. It's poised to reshape everything we know about the Yellowstone universe. The stakes are higher, the dynamics are more fractured, and the Dutton legacy hangs by a thread. If the finale taught us anything, it's that nothing is off the table anymore. Let's start with what we know for sure. The iconic Yellowstone Ranch is no longer under the control of the Duttons. That banner being taken down was a symbolic moment, signaling the end of an era. Now, the reservation holds the reins. While this might seem like a victory for Thomas Rainwater, it's clear that inheriting the ranch will bring its own set of challenges. Can Rainwater honor the land while avoiding the mistakes of his predecessors? And more importantly, how will this shift affect the Dutton family, especially Beth and Rip, who seem completely untethered without the ranch anchoring their lives? Speaking of Beth, her actions in the finale left fans divided. Her vendetta against Jaime reached its inevitable conclusion. But at what cost? Jaime's death was brutal, abrupt, and left us with more questions than answers. Why did Beth feel so compelled to eliminate him in such a rushed manner? Was it revenge, or was it fear? And what happens now that Jaime is gone? It's hard to imagine the Duttons surviving the fallout without him. Like him or not, Jaime played a pivotal role in the family's political and legal battles. Without him, the Duttons are vulnerable, more vulnerable than they've ever been before. Then there's Rip. Fans have noticed his reduced presence inside the series lately, and it's not possible not to marvel why. Was this a deliberate move by means of Taylor Sheridan, or is there something larger in shop for Rip in Season 6? The funeral scene for John Dutton didn't sit properly with many visitors, and Rip's obvious loss of urgency in search of revenge for John's death has left lovers scratching their heads. Has Rip certainly moved on, or is there a storm brewing underneath the floor? Yellowstone Season 6 also promises to introduce a new antagonist, Travis, who is set to play a significant role in the upcoming 4-6's spinoff. But his presence in the main series raises a lot of questions. Could Travis be positioning himself as the new power player, someone who not only inherits John's legacy, but also threatens the remnants of the Dutton family? If his interactions with Teeter are any indication, Travis won't be an ally for long. One of the most intriguing aspects of the next chapter is how the series will address the legal and moral questions surrounding Jaime's death. The casual way Rip and Lloyd disposed of his body felt surreal, almost fantasy-like, and it left many fans wondering how they got away with it. Montana's law enforcement can't be that incompetent, can they? What about forensic evidence? Beth's intrusion into Jaime's home right before his disappearance is bound to raise red flags. And it's only a matter of time before someone comes knocking on the Duttons' door. As we gear up for Yellowstone Season 6, one thing is clear. The Dutton family is fractured like never before. With Jaime gone, the ranch sold, and John's legacy seemingly dismantled, it feels like the end of an era. Yet Yellowstone has always thrived on its ability to surprise us, to hit us where it hurts, and to keep us coming back for more. Jaime Dutton's dying wasn't just a shocking second. It was a seismic event that dispatched ripples through the Yellowstone universe. Love him or hate him, Jaime became a cornerstone of the Dutton family's story, and his absence leaves a void that will be impossible to ignore. But here's the actual kicker. His demise may not be the smooth slate Beth was hoping for. In truth, it's much more likely to hang out her and the entire Dutton extended family for years yet to come. Why did Jaime have to die? On paper, Beth's decision changed into driven through vengeance. Jaime had betrayed the circle of relatives a couple of times, from siding with market equities to undermining John's leadership. But dig deeper, and the motivations turn out to be murkier. Was Beth trying to tie up free ends, or became she driven by way of an almost pathological need to control the narrative of her own family's legacy? This isn't just about Beth, though. Jamie's dying, additionally, sheds mild at the moving dynamics in the Dutton family. John's death had already left the Own family fractured, and Jamie's homicide further deepens the divide. Case, who has continually been the moral compass of the family, is certain to take difficulty with the way Beth dealt with matters. Even Rip, who stood by Beth through thick and thin, may find himself questioning her increasingly more erratic choices. And then there's the matter of the cover-up. Jamie's homicide wasn't a spur-of-the-moment act. It was calculated, premeditated, and sloppy. The blood at the floor, the haphazard disposal of his frame, and the complete push aside for ability witnesses all factor to a plan that's certain to unravel. The query isn't if the truth will pop out, it's whilst. Montana law enforcement has been surprisingly absent in handling the Duttons' many crimes. However, Jamie's high-profile reputation as a lawyer and political determine makes his disappearance not possible to disregard. His colleagues, buddies, and even adversaries will begin asking questions, and allows not overlook Sarah Atwood, who has her very own motives to dig into Jamie's fate. If anyone has the way and motivation to expose the Duttons, it's her. Jamie's loss of life additionally increases the stakes for the Duttons' future. With the ranch sold and their power base diminished, the circle of relatives is greater vulnerable than ever. They no longer have the land to defend them or the influence to intimidate their enemies. Beth might also trust she's secured the family's legacy with the aid of casting off Jamie. But in fact, she's made them a larger target. One of the most compelling aspects of Jamie's death is how it reframes his person. For years, Jamie becomes seen because the black sheep of the Own family, the outsider who ought to never pretty degree up. But in his final moments, we noticed a specific side of him. A man who, notwithstanding his flaws, become deeply human. His desperation, his remorse, and even his anger had been all painfully actual. It's ironic, isn't it? Jamie became the maximum relatable Dutton within the moment he was taken far from us. This tragedy isn't just about Jamie, even though it's approximately what his demise represents. The Duttons have constantly been a Own family described via loyalty, even when that loyalty was toxic. Jamie's death shatters that illusion, exposing the family's darker impulses and forcing them to confront their own mortality. But right here's the twist. Jamie's tale may not be over. No, I'm no longer suggesting he'll rise from the dead, but his presence will retain to loom large over the collection. Whether it's via flashbacks, exposed secrets and techniques, or the consequences of his actions, Jamie will stay a haunting determinant in the Yellowstone narrative. Take the mysterious stash of milk in Jamie's fridge, for instance. Was it just a random quirk, or does it hint at something deeper? Fans have speculated that the milk symbolizes Jamie's longing for innocence, a connection to an easier time before his lifestyles have become so complicated, or perhaps it's just a bizarre detail meant to maintain us guessing. Either manner, it's those small, reputedly insignificant info that make Yellowstone so charming. Yellowstone Season 6 will certainly explore the aftermath of Jamie's loss of life in methods we are able to yet expect. Will Beth face the outcomes of her moves? Will Case finally take a stand in opposition to the Own family's detrimental inclinations? And what role will Rip play in keeping the whole thing together, or tearing it all apart? One element's for positive. Yellowstone isn't afraid to take risks, even if it way alienating some of its maximum dependable fanatics. Jamie's dying turned into a bold pass, one which sets the level for a darker, greater complicated season. Whether you accept as true with the decision or now not, you couldn't deny its impact. So what do you think? Was Jamie's loss of life justified or turned into it a step to some distance? And how do you watch the Dutton's circle of relatives will manage the fallout? Let me realize your thoughts as we tools up for a season that promises to be in contrast to whatever we've seen before. With Yellowstone Season 6 confirmed and the franchise expanding in new instructions, enthusiasts are left thinking, what does the future preserve? The Yellowstone we've known and loved is evolving, and while it's exciting, it's also unsettling. The Dutton circle of relatives may no longer control the ranch, however, their story is far from over. And with new characters, spin-offs, and unresolved mysteries on the horizon, one thing is positive. Yellowstone isn't done surprising us yet. First allows communicate approximately the ranch itself. The transfer of the Yellowstone Ranch to the reservation is arguably the maximum considerable shift within the series so far. For generations, the ranch was the Dutton-owned family's identification, their supply of electricity, and the battleground for his or her fiercest fights. Now, with Thomas Rainwater on the helm, the tale takes a dramatic turn, but allows now not neglect. This is nevertheless Yellowstone, and not anything is ever because it appears. While the reservation's acquisition of the ranch seems like justice served, it also units the stage for new conflicts. Rainwater's vision for the land might also align with the values of maintenance and history. However, outdoor forces like market equities and other opportunistic gamers received backpedal so easily. The ranch would possibly have modified palms. However, the battle for its soul is a long way from over. And in which does this leave the Dutton circle of relatives? Stripped in their ancestral home, the Duttons have to redefine their place in the world. Beth and Rip, who've lengthy been tied to the ranch, now face an existential crisis. Who are they without the land? Rip especially appears adrift. His stoic demeanor has constantly been his strength. However, the loss of the ranch might sooner or later crack his armor. Will he find a way to move ahead, or will the load of the whole lot they've misplaced be an excessive amount of to bear? Then there's Case, who's usually been torn among his own family and his own ethical compass. The occasions of the finale, combined with Jamie's dying, leave Case in a precarious position. Will he step up as the brand new head of the circle of relatives, or will he in the end ruin far from the toxicity of the Dutton name? Case's function in the approaching season is probable to be pivotal, mainly because the circle of relatives' dynamic keeps to unravel. Meanwhile, Beth's relentless pursuit of manipulate might in the end seize up along with her. She's constantly been a force of nature, but her actions in latest seasons have alienated even her staunchest supporters. Without Jamie as her scapegoat, Beth can also discover herself facing results she in no way anticipated. Could this be the season in which Beth ultimately meets her in shape, or will she discover a manner to claw her way back to the pinnacle? Beyond the core family, the series is expanding in ambitious new guidelines. The upcoming 4/6 spin-off will delve deeper into Travis's story, offering lovers a glimpse of life beyond the Yellowstone Ranch. Love him or hate him, Travis is shaping as much as be a crucial determinant in the franchise's destiny. His upward thrust to power isn't just a narrative shift. It's a thematic one, signaling a pass far away from the conventional circle of relatives drama and towards a broader exploration of legacy, ambition, and the price of strength. But the enlargement of the franchise doesn't stop there. Spin-offs like 1923 season and 1883 have already laid the basis for a rich, interconnected universe. And Season 6 will possibly continue to tie these testimonies together. Flashbacks, callbacks, and thematic parallels will deepen our knowledge of the Duttons' history while we grapple with their unsure destiny. One lingering question that's positive to Hangout enthusiasts is the fate of Jamie's secrets. Jamie's death would possibly have silenced him, but his movements, past and gift, are bound to resurface. From his murky involvement in his father's murder to the hidden skeletons in his political career, Jamie's shadow will loom huge over the Duttons. And permits not overlook Sarah Atwood, who has every reason to dig deeper into Jamie's disappearance. Will she be the only to resolve the Duttons' cautiously constructed facade? Finally, there's the emotional toll. Yellowstone has continually been a tale approximately family. However, it's also a tale approximately loss. Season 6 will absolutely discover the emotional fallout of new events, forcing the characters to confront their personal grief, guilt, and regret. The loss of the ranch, Jamie's loss of life, and John's absence depart scars that gained it heal effortlessly, if in any respect. But with every ending comes a brand new starting. Season 6 isn't just about the aftermath, it's approximately evolution. The Duttons may be down, however, they're not out. Whether it's via sudden alliances, shocking betrayals, or moments of redemption, the next season promises to take the tale in instructions we by no means imagined. So, what's next for Yellowstone? Will the Duttons reclaim their legacy, or is this truly the end of the road for them? What role will the new power players like Travis and Rainwater play in shaping the future of the land? And most importantly, how will the series continue to surprise us, challenge us, and keep us hooked? Share your thoughts in the comment section about Yellowstone's Season 6 release date, and subscribe our channel for more Yellowstone updates. Thanks.